Hey guys, AKIL'S here. Welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. Hopefully a video edition. Things were a little bit wonky in setting up, so fingers crossed that we got it running smoothly. But thanks to have you back, whatever or however you are viewing or listening to this. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the fear of being successful, right? A few episodes we talked a little bit about the fear of, lack of confidence and not being good enough, and a great book that I read and all these affirmations that I did to brainwash myself into thinking or believing that I was good enough to be a successful trader. Today, I guess we're going to talk about the next step. Once you become successful, it's not over. That brings its own little kind of struggles and battles as well. And this time it's not my personal story. It's actually the story of a trader that I work with. And I want to read you the question that he recently sent me. He said, Akil, I started trading the 1 minute chart on Bitcoin on September 15th with 18K in my account. As of October 8th, the account is at 54K. Woo, right? I keep telling myself process over profit, process over profit, process over profit. And I'm not trying to overtrade, and I'm waiting for quality setups. I don't want to be a part of the 90-90 club. If you guys aren't familiar with the infamous 90-90 club, it is the club in which 90% of traders fail in 90 days. It's really 90-90-90, where 90% of traders lose 90% of their equity in the first 90 days of trading. But we'll just say you blew it all, right? Why 90% when you can blow 100% of it? I don't want to join that club. And my question is, should I settle down or keep doing what I am doing? I think I should reduce the amount I'm trading money-wise and continue what I'm doing. I went through one drawdown so far, and it was about 5%, so negative 5%, but I handled it pretty fairly well. I guess I'm just having self-doubt, which is why I keep telling myself, process over profit, process over profit, process over profit. Any advice would be appreciated. And this is interesting, right? So I don't know the exact details of like the percentage of what this trader is trading. Obviously, if he's trading 20% right risk per trade, then you may want to calm down a little bit. Reducing that profit is good, but this is a tier 1 trader, so I'm going to assume that he's been taking our advice and is going through things the right way, and is managing risk correctly, not putting himself in a position where he is overexposed. So my first response, and if you know me, you already know my typical responses, right? Whenever evaluating yourself as a trader, whenever evaluating your performance, whether it's success, it's usually like a drawdown period. In this case, it's success. I ask you one question, and that one question is, have you been taking good trades? Now, remember, when we talk about good trades, it has nothing to do with like how good they ended up being or how bad they ended up being. A good trade is defined, this is a writer downer, right? A good trade is defined by a trade in which you follow all of your rules 100%. So that's your analysis, that's your entry, that is your active trade management, that is your exit, that is position sizing. Anything that encapsulates the trade, that has to all be checked in order for you to have a 100% good trade percentage. And if you are taking 100% good trades, then you are doing the right thing because you are following the rules of your plan. The rules of your trading plan have an edge. How do you know they have the edge? Because you have backtested them over years and years and years and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trades. And our only job is to think about big picture numbers, meaning consistently do the right things, and we should expect the right result later. So I told the trader, hey, no, you're not doing anything wrong. There's no reason to fear. But this fear is something that typically comes up because I'll tell you what, failure is easy. This is one of the reasons a lot of people do fail. I'll talk a little bit about self-sabotage in a little bit, but a lot of people fail because it's just easier to fail, right? We talk about that comfort zone, right? The magical comfort zone with everything that's nice and cuddly and comfy. Ooh, so warm, right? Inside. And then in order to achieve the most valuable things in life, I don't want to say anything of value because there is value in the comfort zone and not everyone likes to jump out of it. But the most valuable things in life lie outside that comfort zone. Specifically, like freedom is one of those things. And to break out of it, it is uncomfortable. It is tough. It's a lot easier to stay in that warm and snuggly comfort zone because, not just because you're comfortable already, but the vast majority of your friends, your family, people you know, people out there on social media, they exist in that comfort zone. And secretly, they don't want you to succeed either. Now, why don't they want you to succeed, Akil? Easy. Because if you succeed, right, it makes them feel bad about how come they're not succeeding, right? And we don't want to feel bad. We don't want to put blame on ourselves. We'd rather push it off to other people. Therefore, if I can keep you in that comfort zone, that makes me feel better about the things that I'm not doing. And because of that, people are often coddled, where you try something, you fail. Oh, it's okay. Like, you shouldn't have tried in the first place. That's not for you. You shouldn't do this. Stay in this nice comfort zone so I can feel better. So you can feel better about yourself, right? It's stuff like that. So being successful, breaking out that comfort zone is difficult. It is scary because it comes with pressure. It is easy to fail. 90% of your traders have failed. Welcome home if you're failing. But all of a sudden, once you become a success, now there is pressure because now you are expected to do good. In other aspects of life, like if you're a CEO or like a professional athlete, right? You have internal pressure from yourself. You have external pressure from all your fans that want to see you succeed, and those are just like weights on your shoulder. In trading, it's mainly yourself. It's somewhat others as well if you're putting yourself out there, especially if you're known within our community. But it's mainly within yourself. And sometimes we're surprised that we have the success, and sometimes we want to purposely sabotage ourselves in order to get out of a position where we are expected to do great things. Because I'll tell you what, I think we all agree. This trader took 15K or 18K, and turned it into 54K in less than a month. That's really successful. That's a great start, right? I was talking to a trader the other day who just started trading live, and he was like, man, started trading live right into some rough markets. I guess I guess I chose the wrong time. Then he's like, wait a minute. Maybe I choose the right time, because we always talk about a great time to trade live is like, it sounds weird, but being bad right away. That way you can kind of take your medicine and then like learn from it at the very beginning and get better. It's harder to be really, really great right off the bat, because now there's this pressure of like anything less than great, anything less from 18 to 54K is a failure. Even though it's not the truth, but we tend to think that way. So having such great results so early on in this trader's career is kind of a gift and a curse. It's good because he made a lot of money, baby, right? But it's bad because now it's easy to set that as the expectation, even though that shouldn't be the expectation, right? What should the expectation be? Well, the expectation should be whatever you achieved in your backtesting. That's why we have those backtesting results. In a drawdown, they tell us what to expect in a drawdown. Oh, this is how bad things can get. I don't know what the opposite of a drawdown is, a new equity high. Same thing. We know what we should expect. And it keeps us grounded because during your trading career, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have hot streaks and cold streaks. And one of the things that keeps me grounded in a hot streak is I know that, okay, it's a hot streak. Losses are coming. I know I should end right here. So eventually I'm going to revert to the mean. Same thing for a cold streak. I'm down here. I know I should be here. I'm going to revert to the mean. And it keeps us grounded. So the first advice I would have for this trader is look through your backtesting results, see what your expectations are, and just kind of reset your expectations, not to like the emotional high of what you've been doing, but to where you should be at. Now let's talk a little bit about self-sabotage, or a little bit, I guess, about the pressures of being successful. The pressures of being successful. Should I edit that out? No, I'm not going to edit it out, but I just sneeze afterwards, so I did edit that part out. But let's talk a little bit about what fear of success looks like, and I wrote a few notes here, right? One, fear of success, and these are like how we sabotage ourselves, things people do to because of the fear of success. One is we set really low goals, right? We automatically set goals really, 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 really low, because if we have high goals, that means success, and we're afraid of it, and we don't really want to be challenged, because being challenged puts us outside of our comfort zone. And as I mentioned earlier, that's a place that many of us don't want to be. Now, again, the goals of trading, these are a little bit easier because we have the numbers. We're not just making up random goals where it's like, I should make 85% a year, or I should make 100% a year, right? our goals and expectations are based on the data that we've collected. So it should be fairly easy for us to take our backtesting data, take away spreads and fees and human error percentages and stuff like that, and honestly say to ourselves, if I do everything correctly, then I should get this much. Also, we want to make process-based goals as well, 100% good trades. Another, again, I don't know if these are forms of sabotage or whatever like that, but procrastination, right? Many of us, because we fear success, we simply procrastinate. We don't do the things that we're supposed to do, and we make up an excuse for not doing it. But the excuse is really that we know if we do these things are going to lead to our success. Secretly, we don't want to be successful. So if I don't do this, I can never be in the position where I'm successful. If I'm never in the position where I'm successful, I never have that fear, that daunting fear of being successful. Perfectionism, we've talked about that before as well. People that are perfectionists create goals that are unachievable. They want to be perfect, and they know that because they can't be perfect, they'll never actually achieve it. And that's their way of like tricking themselves into not proceeding on. I'm just going to start over. We see this a lot with system development, where I've had traders I've worked with develop some amazing systems, but because they weren't perfect, they never follow through with them. I told you my best friend was like this, where he was a great system developer, but every time he created an extremely profitable system, he'd be like, well, that kind of is similar to someone else's on the internet, and I want mine to be different, so I'm not going to trade it. And I'm like, dude, you're just throwing away money. But that was, at the time, I just thought it was ego, like, oh, his ego's so big, it has to be his own. What I learned now, and in conversations we've had over the past years, or past 10 years, as we've reflected on things, is that he was really afraid to be successful. So as long as he can keep restarting, he would never reach the point where he actually had to put pressure on himself. Quitting is another one where people just quit. That has to do with it as well. There's also guilt, anxiety, imposter syndrome, all of the stuff that we've mentioned before. But the key is you have to be able to identify what these fears are. And if you can identify them, you can help fight them. And I want to read you something real quick, because we always talk about when we do our trading plan, the first part of our trading plan is our philosophy and psychology section, right? And this is going to follow up on what I told you guys in not the previous one, but whatever podcast episode it was when I told you about reading the book and doing affirmations, because I put these affirmations in my first trading plan. So what I'm going to do here, this is old school, right? If you guys can see this is how you know how old I am, right? My first trading plan, I still keep it with me. It is on the computer now, but this was it. It was, I'm surprised I didn't say my first trading plan, but it was here. 3-ring binder. I printed out some graphics, right? ASC was the name of my business, AKIL'S Enterprises, because I am the most creative person in the world. This is gonna be fun. What else is in here? I'm opening up this for the first time in a very long time. This is random notes and whatnot. Ooh, look at this. Here we go. Look, a little spreadsheet action, little flow chart action here. This is crazy. But I want to read you two things. From my trading plan, and one was kind of a checklist, and then one was kind of written into words. For you guys that are on the platform, this should be in the trade plan development section as well. But I want to read you one over a few of the bullet points under trading philosophy. And this is something that helped me, where I would literally wake up and read this every single day to kind of get myself in the right mindset to trade. I believe successful trading is a learned skill. It is a science. A consistent profitability is achievable and duplicatable. That's a tough word. I define success in trading as total financial freedom, the ability to stay home with my family, the freedom to choose my own schedule, and the ability to provide for those who I love with every excess comfort and opportunity possible. My mental state is a major factor in my success as a trader. I will constantly assess and adjust my trading state in order to maintain a mindset conducive to greatness. I accept the fact that my success is unlimited. I can achieve anything where others see impossibility. I will see unlimited opportunity. I will be disciplined in every regard at all times as it relates to my trading plan and execution. I recognize that I am in the market to become a full-time trader. I am interested in profit. Trading is my business. There's some other stuff on here as well, but we'll leave it at that. And then when I refined my trading plan, I decided to write it in kind of a paragraph type form. And these are just reminders that put me in the right mindset. So One, I had a quote that said, "Trading is my business. I will always conduct my approach to the market in a professional manner. I have written this plan for a reason, and in order to succeed, I need to follow it. If not, I will fall into the 95%ers of traders that fail. Success is available to everyone, so why should I settle for being average?" So I'm giving myself, of all these things, I'm giving myself permission to be successful. I'm brainwashing myself and saying, Akil, you're allowed to be successful, right? I'll read on. I'm a professional currency trader that uses various techniques to observe and maneuver around the markets. I have no bullish or bearish bias when it comes to analyzing the market, nor do I base any of my trades off of a fundamental approach. I simply follow my technical analysis. I am aware that I have no control over the market and that it will do what it wants when it wants. My job is to put myself in the best position available to maximize my profits and minimize my drawdown while the market is in action. In order to reach my goals, I must eliminate all emotions from my trading. Now, if I were to go back and rewrite this instead of eliminate, because I speaking to the show, I understand we can't eliminate emotions, but not act on emotions. To achieve this, I will use a very specific set of rules. As long as I follow my rules, I will never enter a bad trade. Bad being defined as a trade in which I break my rules. I want to go down to the part that I'm talking about. Here we go. Lastly, I skipped a few paragraphs, but lastly, I truly believe I deserve to be successful. Again, giving myself permission to be successful. I have been involved in the Forex market since September 2009 and have taken a professional training course for 6 months. With the experience, knowledge, hard work, and most importantly, discipline put into mastering my craft, I feel that I must be successful and that I deserve to be. So just like in the previous podcast where we talked about affirmations and telling yourself why you're good, you can do the same exact thing, allowing yourself to be successful, telling yourself that, hey, not only do I deserve to be successful, but I'm allowed to be successful and that's okay. I don't need to fear it. I don't need to run from it. I need to accept it and accept everything that comes with it. And if you can do that, you will battle the fear of success, and you will be allowed to make as much profit as you can, because like I said, success is unlimited. Holding this position for a really long time. I don't know why. I feel like Jude Bellingham, but not yesterday after the England loss. I guess he had a goal. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you tune in 3 times a week. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not subscribed already. Got some pretty cool videos here, including lots of shorts and trading tips. And until next time, plan your trade your plan. Arms are getting tired. Take care.